Welcome to Monday morning's group meditation. One moment, if you please. All right. Let us begin with Maha Yoga's wisdom warm-up. All right. The Buddha taught there were four bases of mindfulness: the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental. By bringing the circumstantial into the path of wisdom, we practice the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Please chant with me. All circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. We now silently and mentally recite a 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted, divided between our inhalation and our exhalation. While we do so, I encourage you to touch the tip of your left index finger to its thumb. Now please touch the tip of your left ring finger to its thumb. By bringing the physical into the path of wisdom, we practice the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. All bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this interpersonal communication or speech. And so this is important. Our experience of the interpersonal is typified by communication whose monosyllabic synonym is the word speech. Let us touch the tips of our far left fingers to our palm. By bringing the interpersonal into the path of wisdom, the wisdom of impermanence, the wisdom of interdependence, we practice the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Allow me to refine something for you. Interdependence here is not a reference to karma. Karma is a construct not mentioned in the Eightfold Path. Karma is inherently selfish, speaking to our lower fear of punishment and greed for reward. The Eightfold Path is not concerned itself with such things. It's all about love. 50% of the Eightfold Path pertains to loving kindness. Interdependence reminds us that what we do with our circumstances, our body, our communication, and our mind can harm others or benefit others. Let's continue. All interpersonal communication or speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Impermanence is not something that needs to be believed. It's just an observation that we need to be vulnerable to. For every day we see changes, sometimes jarring, sometimes subtle, but change is all around us. Every day the sun rises and sets, that's change. Every month the moon waxes and wanes, that's change. Every quarter the seasons change. Ever-changing, one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. Let us, by bringing the mental into the path of wisdom, we practice the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Please touch the tip of your left middle finger to its thumb. All minds could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into a vast empty void. Well, what do we mean by voidness? Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be non-graspable to the hand. Upon the tip of our left middle finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the heart area of our heart region of our chest. Let us quickly review the mechanics of mindfulness. Every time we inhale, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we are wired to notice in a very special way. We are wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. What are we to do with that which we notice? Why, meditate, of course. You see, every time we exhale, thanks to our parasympathetic nervous system, we are wired to both physically relax and mentally release. Well, then we have a choice. We can compete against those neurological processes, or we can cooperate with them. How do we do the latter of the two? Simple. We could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, and we could silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Together, let us practice right now. And now let's shift gears. It is Yoda Monday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. We return to this morning's practice text, where we also shift gears. Allow me to remind you that loving kindness comprises 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Together, rather than indulge our controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these kind words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors with statements literal, and instead relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Welcome to Mahayoga's loving second through fifth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let's begin with an explanation of this six-syllable mantra. Together. Om, I invoke the Vajra diamond-like strength of a sattva mind well trained. Supplicating with whom may awareness and release be mastered by all. Our training in loving wishes is known by many names, including Mahayoga. By bringing the mental into the path of love, we practice the second fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path together. May all minds of all beings now possess the joyful enlightenment. One moment, if you please, I must do a quick edit while it's fresh in my mind, otherwise it will evaporate. Okay, here we go. Cowabunga. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. And let's start from the top of the page. May all minds of all beings... Oh, by the way, let us chant. While we chant, let us touch the tip of our left thumb. Let's try this. Get to the tip of its middle finger. May all minds of all beings now possess a joyful enlightenment, symbolized by a one-syllable seed or bija mantra. During our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite this six-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant 4 repetitions of this 6-syllable mantra. Now, if this is your first time hanging out with me, please give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. And once again, upon the tip of our left middle finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the heart region of our chest. This is known by many names, including Anu Yoga. For those who have just joined, allow me to take a moment to review the mechanics of mindfulness. Every time we breathe in, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we are wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception. You know, sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings. What are we to do with that which we notice? We meditate. But how do we do that? Every time we exhale, thanks to our parasympathetic nervous system, we are wired to both physically relax as well as mentally release. How do we cooperate with this parasympathetic nervous system? Simple. We could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, the only label we'll ever name, and we could silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Together, let us practice right now. By the way, this mindfulness and meditation, the fancy name for this mindfulness and meditation, is not only sati and samadhi, but also ati yoga. The exercises in this morning's practice, therefore, represent for us a complete path to quick enlightenment. Remembering, of course, that enlightenment does not mean the absence of certain emotions. It simply means that we've gotten so good at the Buddha's Eightfold Path that we practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Just as children are not born knowing how to walk, use the commode, brush their teeth, or ride a bike, yet by the time they reach first grade, they typically can do those things rather well. So similarly, we can get so good at mindfulness and meditation that the remaining 6 folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path take care of themselves spontaneously. We turn now to Tantra's creation stage. By bringing the interpersonal into the path of love, we practice the third fold of the Buddha's eightfold path together. Oh, by the way, let's quickly touch the tip of each of our left fingers to the center of their palm. May each being's experience of the interpersonal speech now possess the peaceful life symbolized by a multisyllabic mantra. During our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the six-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to recite 4 repetitions of this six-syllable mantra. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. We now turn to the completion stage of Highest Yoga Tantra. Upon the tips of all of our 4 left fingers, we could rest the great knuckles at the base of all of our right fingers, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the throat region of our neck. We now return to Great Completion Stage, the Great Completion Stage of mindfulness and meditation. We turn now to Dzogchen's Tokal, also known as the leap over, where we bring the physical into the path of love, that we might practice the third fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Together. Oh yes, let's touch the tip of our left ring finger to its thumb. May all bodies or forms of all beings know possess great health. Symbolized by the enlightened Octopoya Dum Dorje Sampo Vajra Sattva or diamond mind. During our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of our loving intention. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant 4 repetitions of this 6-syllable mantra. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, 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 Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. We turn now to Dzogchen's Tikle, or drop energy work. Upon the tip of our left ring finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite or reel or imagine subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the navel region of our mid-abdomen. We come now to Ati Yoga. We come now to Dzogchen's Trek Show. Let's just do an edit here and make this easier on everybody. DZOKCHEN''S. Let's put an insert here. Let's make this ridiculously smaller. And let's make all of this smaller and call this Okay, we turn now to Dzogchen's Treksho, or Slice Through, where we simply practice mindfulness and meditation, the seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. By bringing the circumstantial into the path of love, we practice the fifth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Please chant with me. Oopsie, my mistake. But first, let's touch the tip of our left index finger to its thumb. May all circumstances or lots of all beings no possess very good fortune or boon, symbolized by the mythic paradise, pure land or Parvati of a Buddha. Again, let us silently and mentally recite the six-syllable synopsis of our loving intention. During our exhalation, we could physically relax as best we can while striving to chant 4 repetitions of this six-syllable mantra. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum, Om Vajra Sattva Hum. On the tip of our left index finger, we could rest the great knuckle of the base of our right index finger palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the crown region of our head. One of the cool fringe benefits of regularly training in mindfulness and meditation is that our choices, utterances, and deeds begin to flow from love's centered spontaneity. This is the effortless effort of the sixth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. So if you've just joined, I'm going to briefly review the mechanics of mindfulness. Every time we inhale, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we are wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception. You know, our sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings. What are we to do with that which we notice? Simple. We meditate. You see, every time we exhale, thanks to the parasympathetic nervous system, we are wired to practice both physical relaxation as well as mental release. Now, what is the most efficient, the easiest way for us to cooperate with these neurological structures? All we got to do is silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, and silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. So together, let's practice right now. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.